Welcome to Urban Legends, and in tonight's video, we're diving into a tale that has haunted pet owners for decades. The story of the Choking Doberman. What starts as a routine emergency takes a dark and unexpected turn, leaving one woman terrified in her own home. Is it just an urban legend, or could there be truth lurking behind this unsettling story? Anna had no reason to feel uneasy that night. She had spent the evening out with friends, laughing over a lavish meal and letting herself forget the stress of the week. When she got home, she expected nothing but silence and the familiar warmth of her Doberman, Max, waiting for her. But the moment she stepped through her front door, she knew that something was wrong. The air inside was stale and thick. The hallway light flickered, and then she heard it. It was a choking sound coming from the darkness ahead. Anna's stomach dropped as she saw Max lay sprawled on the floor, convulsing. His powerful frame trembled, his claws scratched weakly at the wooden boards. His mouth foamed and his body heaved as he struggled for air. Anna's heart sunk as she dropped to her knees, trying to pry his jaws open, but his body spasmed violently, his throat convulsing around something lodged deep inside. Panic surged through her as she fumbled for her phone and called the vets. Anna barely remembered the drive there, her hands shaking against the wheel as Max wheezed and gasped in the back seat. When she finally arrived, the vet didn't waste any time. Max was taken into the back, and she sat in silence, the distant sounds of beeping monitors and hushed voices making her skin crawl. The vet eventually came back, his face pale and his expression was grim. He told her they had to perform an emergency tracheotomy, and that whatever was lodged in his throat was too deep to remove any other way. Anna nodded, and her mind refused to accept the night's sudden turn. She drove home in silence, the weight of exhaustion pressing down on her. But as she stepped inside, something felt off. The air was wrong, like it was too still, too heavy. A faint metallic smell clung to the walls. Anna's house, supposedly her safe place, suddenly felt foreign and unwelcoming. Then the phone rang. The sound made her jump, but she answered, her breath shallow. It was the vet. His voice was urgent, almost frantic. He told Anna to get out of the house right away. He said what they had removed from Max's throat, which was 3 human fingers. For a moment, her mind couldn't process it. Then she heard a soft creak coming from the hallway. The phone slipped from her grasp and her eyes darted toward the darkened corridor leading to her bedroom. The house was supposed to be empty. There was another sound. It was a slow wheezing breath, just beyond the doorframe. Anna's muscles locked. A faint rustling noise came from the bedroom closet and the door was slightly ajar. Something, or someone, was inside. Her breath came in quick, shallow gasps. Every nerve in her body screamed at her to run, but fear kept her rooted in place. The floor creaked beneath Anna's step as she inched backward toward the front door. Then, from the darkness, she heard a low groan, followed by a dull thud as something large and heavy tipped over in the closet. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows and the police stormed in, their flashlights cutting through the blackness. Then they found him. The man was slumped inside the closet, barely conscious. His face was ghostly pale and his left hand, or what was left of it, was wrapped in a blood-soaked rag. 3 fingers were missing and the jagged wounds were raw, gnawed down to the bone. His breaths were shallow, his body too weak from blood loss to fight back. They dragged him into the hallway. His expression was dazed and unfocused. He had been there in Anna's home, waiting. If it wasn't for Max, he might have still been hiding unnoticed when she got home. The house didn't feel like hers anymore. No amount of locks would make her feel safe again. Because even as they took the man away, as the ambulance doors slammed shut, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was still hiding there, watching, waiting for the lights to go out again. The Choking Doberman legend originated in the United States in the mid to late 70s. While the exact source of the legend remains uncertain, it gained popularity through word of mouth and media exposure, particularly in the context of growing fears about crime and home invasion during that era. One of the earliest references to this legend in America appeared in the folklore research of Jan Harold Brunvand, a professor and scholar specializing in urban legends. Brunvand included the story in his 1984 book, The Choking Doberman and Other Urban Legends, which helped cement its status as a classic piece of modern folklore. He traced its spread through anecdotal reports and newspaper articles, identifying it as a prime example of how contemporary myths evolve and adapt. Although the story had various forms, Brunvand found that the core elements, namely an alarmed pet owner, a disturbing discovery, and an implied threat, remained consistent. The legend likely emerged as part of a broader cultural anxiety in the 1970s about crime and personal safety. The decade saw a significant rise in reported burglaries and violent crime in major American cities, leading to widespread fears about intrusions into private homes. The story of the Choking Doberman played into this fear, offering a darkly ironic twist where a vigilant guard dog, meant to provide protection, ends up uncovering a horrifying crime. The narrative also resonated with concerns about urban decay and the perceived breakdown of law and order, making it a compelling cautionary tale. While the legend presents a chilling scenario, there is no documented evidence that such an incident ever occurred. No police reports or verified cases match the details of the story, making it clear that it is purely a myth rather than a real-life event. However, real cases of home invasions and burglaries where pets played a role in alerting their owners have been recorded. Dogs have been credited with deterring criminals, barking at intruders, and even attacking assailants, but no verifiable instance exists where a dog choked on human remains as described in the legend. The spread of the legend followed a pattern typical of urban myths, adapting to local settings while maintaining its core suspenseful structure. The Choking Doberman story has appeared in various books and films over the years, often as an example of urban folklore or as inspiration for horror and thriller narratives. Besides Brunvand's influential work, the legend has been cited in other folklore studies exploring the nature of modern myths and their function in society. The theme of an animal discovering a grisly crime has also been referenced in popular culture, showing up in movies and television episodes that play on the fear of home invasions or hidden threats. While no single film is explicitly based on the Choking Doberman legend, its influence can be seen in numerous horror and suspense films where a pet's behavior signals unseen danger. The enduring popularity of the tale speaks to its effectiveness as a modern myth, tapping into deep-seated anxieties about security, crime, and the unexpected ways in which the truth can come to light. Through the research of scholars like Brunvand and the ongoing fascination with urban legends, the Choking Doberman story remains one of the most recognizable and frequently retold pieces of American folklore. Its origins in the 1970s reflect a society grappling with uncertainty and fear, and its persistence suggests that such anxieties continue to resonate with audiences today. What do you think about the Choking Doberman urban legend? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, turning on all notifications.